The script is always the same. The Manfluencers is the winner thanks to their wit, sarcasm, and superior supposed logic. The other character is shown as delusional or malevolent.
Hi, my name is David Boeren, and you are listening to Studium Generale, the podcast. The positive dreams of a wholesome and connected global village on the internet have long gone by. If you look at your social media feed nowadays, it is filled with drama, rage bait, and toxicity. But why does this type of content prevail? Are we drawn to it? Do the platforms push it? Or is our attention being manipulated by toxic content creators? Today we will listen to Matteo Rinaldi. He works as a PhD candidate at Erasmus School of History, Culture and Communication, where he researches toxic social media content, specifically in the context of the Manosphere. Enjoy his column.
A meme about women. A short video degrading a political opponent with humor. A joke you know you should not laugh at. What are the limits of toxic entertainment? What is it? How does it look like? How can we recognize it? And what does it do to people? These are some of the questions that drive my PhD on toxic entertainment. The goal of my PhD is to understand how toxic content is, but also how it may become more palatable when packaged in entertainment elements. When is a joke just a joke? When do we excuse it? And when do we condemn it? Yeah, lots of questions, I know. Let's go with order. Let's start with the topic of my first couple of papers, the Manosphere and its expression on social media short videos. The Manosphere has become widely public thanks to TV series such as Adolescence and documentaries like Into the Manosphere. They are digital, mostly, spaces where feminism is decried as the reason for male weaknesses and women described as having unrealistic expectations towards men, among other things. It is based on the problematic ideas that women are manipulative and deceptive by nature, and that men are being de-emasculated by a feminist society, losing their perceived privileges. One way that the Manosphere expresses itself recently is through social media platforms, especially via short videos. You may have seen something like that as well. A podcast where a man explains to a woman what men really want. A reaction video about how women cannot be trusted with men's emotions and careers. A video where a woman who wants everything from her partner is not willing to do anything for him and is then shut off by the more logical manfluencer who calls her to order. Maybe with a silly or electronic music. Maybe with zooms and editing on their faces in disbelief when they're caught in disarray. One of my studies focus on this. Try to understand how this material looks like. How are these videos? What is viral on the internet? What characteristics do they use to convey toxic and yet entertaining content? One of the main elements of these videos is a very strong use of what are called multimodal design phenomena as a way to convey discourse and toxic discussions. These phenomena are titles, captions, editing, music, clothing, everything you can listen to and see in the video. For example, in these videos, titles often mention women, feminists, or so-called modern people as being shut off, silenced, or mocked for attacking the manfluencer. It is easy to see what will happen. The manfluencer will clear the air. They are the logical ones, while women and simps are ruining the world of dating, and the social world in general, creating anger and sadness for men. Editing enters the scene here. The cameras often shift from the character speaking to the one listening. They are shown in a submissive posture and expressions. The video often ends with them showing how uncomfortable they are to the so-called truth that the manfluencer just showed to them. They are being misandrous, they're being illogical, maybe even delusional. The zoom is on their faces in disbelief, on the manfluencer's opponents, The last thing that the user will see of the video. The seal on this character's defeat. Connected to this, it is possible to notice how these interactions always have a winner and always have a loser. This is very clear to the audience. The act of cutting the video before any sort of answer from the woman or in general from the manfluencer's opponent can be heard is not only a characteristic of the short video itself, because the video, well, must be short and end at a certain point, but it is a strategy. The person is censored, their opinions are diminished, their intelligence doubted.
I'll say this, there are no feminists when World War III starts. A lot of you guys want equal rights.
Equal rights, equal fights.
Look at Ukraine. All the women could leave the country. All the men had to stay from the age of 18 to I think 60 or 65. You, as a man, could not leave the country. If you're a woman, you could leave. That's why, it's so crazy. Oh, feminism this, feminism that. When it comes down to it, when it comes down to the fight, when it comes down to Russia invading your country, there's no feminists anymore. All the women, while all their men in Ukraine were dying, getting all the women went to Stockholm, Sweden, and were in the club, partying, getting drunk.
This strategy happens during different styles of videos, being those reaction videos or interviews where, usually women, are stopped in public spaces and asked scripted questions with the goal of showing their inability to answer and proclivity to contradict themselves. Another strategy developed by manfluencers is often that of creating monologues and sketch comedy. With the first, manfluencers give advice and explain what high-value men and women are, or criticize current trends, feminism, and explain how women and society in general, since they're getting away from traditional values, are delusional regarding gender roles. Their tone is always full of mockery and sarcasm, often resorting to humor. Something similar happens in the specific kind of video of sketch comedy. Manfluencers act in a scene where two fictional characters discuss women's behavior. One may be a feminist or a typical woman according to the Manosphere community, so delusional and greedy. The other one is rational and based in logic and understanding of the male condition, or at least that's what the manfluencer want to show, showing themselves as being supportive of male grievances. The script is always the same. The manfluencers is the winner thanks to their wit, sarcasm, and superior supposed logic. The other character is shown as delusional or malevolent. For example, a woman who wants her man to give her attention all the time and does not appreciate his staying longer at work to support her. Another one be scolded for expecting too much from a man in dating while not wanting to be given him anything, and gets mocked for her unsuccessful dating experiences.
Babe, you hardly know him, and you're giving him wifey treatment. You really think that's a good idea? Why wouldn't it be? He could just be playing you. I don't give wifey treatment until I know he's husband material. Well, that seems backwards. Huh? I mean, what if he thought the same way? What if he didn't give you husband treatment until he knew you were wifey material? He paid for our first date, picked me up for the second. He's been opening doors, made sure I made it home. As girls, we just consider that the bare minimum. But he doesn't have to do that. Yes, he does. It's called being a man. Well, then what's being a woman? What's our bare minimum? Because if I'm just showing up on dates and doing nothing else, how can I expect a guy like him to stick around? I think a surprise lunch is the least I can do. You are trying way too hard. Thanks for the tip. What's your boyfriend's name again?
All of these videos present then editing elements, like strategic final cuts, use of titles, music, and styles that are extremely entertaining. A story is told, somebody is made fun of, there is an hilarious moment when a character is looking really bad. Being on social media, the expectation is to find exactly that, humorous, light content. But there is a catch. Such editing and humor can act as a cover-up for toxic content. When these videos convey discourse that is symbolically violent, so that they show women as being submissive, visually lower in the framing compared to the manfluencers, or when manfluencers use expressions such as falling into femininity, or for men to go up the corporate ladder, inequalities can be fostered and maintained. And because of the entertaining packaging they're wrapped in, they may be not recognized as problematic and yet consumed. Why is it important to understand how this content is made? Not only, although important, to grasp how inequalities are conveyed in a novel way, via multimodal discourse, so through audio and video elements, such as the ones that we mentioned before, but also because when certain elements of persuasion are recognized, we may start to look at this content in a different way. Look at it as a sort of media literacy. If you know you're being manipulated with editing in order to achieve virality taking advantage of your emotion, you may not like it. Nobody likes their attention to be stolen nor their emotions to be used to monetize content based on rage, grievances, or negative feelings. Recognizing specific editing strategies and use of multimodalities can act as an alarm bell of sort while consuming social media content. That video is trying to show a person under a bad light maybe, but, well, I never hear the response. The camera is conveniently zooming on a person looking submissive or with a passive expression, but I do not know when that recording was done. Is it just edited there? The sketch comedy seems to be really supporting one of the two sides. Is it because the influencers is scripting that conversation completely? Is there an actual rebuttal from the other side? Are reactions and street interviews following the same script with maybe a selection of clips? Knowing what kind of multimodal design elements are used is the first step to defend oneself. Recognizing toxicity may become easier when the funny, entertaining packaging is examined, taken apart, and especially when it's seen for what it is, a strategy to convey messages where someone wins and somebody else loses.
Thank you for listening. Interested in more? Join one of our Studium Generale live events. The calendar can be found on our website or socials. Or listen to other podcasts through Spotify and YouTube. Have a nice day.